Hi everyone. First I would like to apologize that I didn't get the reading up last week. I had a really, really bad Valentine's Day weekend. And then I found out just a few days after that I have a double ear infection. Both of my ears are infected, and I have a sinus infection on top of that. I'm currently on antibiotics and they are kicking my butt. Everything is starting to drain and it's just miserable. But I'm not feeling dizzy like I was. I'm not feeling nauseous like I was. I'm not feeling as fatigued as I was for about a month and a half prior to going to the doctor. So that in itself is a blessing. And honestly, if I had not gone through what I did Valentine's Day weekend, I probably wouldn't have gone to the doctor. So, my advice if you're having a difficult week or a difficult month is that the storm will pass, that there's always something good that follows. So, for this week, the week of February 24th through March 2nd, I went ahead and I pulled out my Enchanted Map Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reid. I've been working with these cards a lot in the last week for my personal readings. I've actually been reading my own cards a lot more this past week because it's been very difficult. I've had to do some very serious self-searching and some very serious self-healing. So I wanted to use this deck today. Let me show you what else I've got out. Over here I have a stick of rose incense burning. As always, I have my white tea light candle for spirit, selenite for just attracting all kinds of positive energies, black tourmaline for deflecting negativity, amethyst right here for psychism and clairvoyance, and clear quartz over here for clarity. And when I was picking the stones and incense this week, I was told by an angel or one of my guides, somebody, that this week for a lot of people, not just myself, is going to be all about self-love and self-healing and getting our power back. I don't mean the power that I'm talking about is not like physical power. It's spiritual power. It's that power that comes from within you that manifests around you, and more or less just brings you your desires. When we're in tune with our own innate inner power, we feel empowered and we feel like we can do these things, like projects at work that we would not normally feel that we could do. So I was told that that's what this week is going to be all about, so I picked crystals and incense based on that. Right here I have a piece of rose quartz, which is good for self-love. It's also good for romantic relationships, dealing with and healing and working on romantic relationships. And over here I have a sunstone and a moonstone. Sunstone is a power crystal for masculine energies, and moonstone is a power crystal for feminine energies, divine feminine energies. So I wanted to include both of those, as this week I was told that it's about getting our power back. So all right. When I was shuffling the cards today, I was told to do the shuffling a little bit differently. So usually I shuffle and then pull them off 1, 2, 3, but this week it was a little bit different. They were actually jumping out of the deck at me. So for the beginning of the week, for Monday and Tuesday, we have intention. I absolutely love the image on this card, that it is an owl sitting on top of an egg. So With this, the owl actually has a dandelion flower or weed in its beak, and one of the what's the word I'm looking for? One of the superstitions, I guess you could call it, with that particular weed is that you can make a wish by blowing all of the seeds off of it and seeing how far they go. If they fly away from you, it's going to happen. If they just fall on the ground, that particular wish isn't going to come true. So I love seeing this as the beginning of this week, because I said that this week is going to be all about self-healing and taking your power back. And the very first step in doing that is setting your intentions for yourself and figuring out where it is that you want to go and start making an action plan. Start divvying up the parts of your particular goal. And if you need to delegate to a specific person or a specific deity, to ask for help, do it. Don't be afraid to do that. I love how the owl is sitting on this proverbial egg, which is, I'm being told that it is the seat of power. And owl is a messenger from spirit, from the spirit world. He is linked to death and to magic and to mysticism. In a lot of traditions, he's very similar to Raven. But for me personally, owl is more of an omen than an actual messenger. He's more of a warning or a forewarning, kind of that, hey, you need to pay attention to this right now kind of energy. And so between the dandelion in his mouth and the egg at his feet, it's very, very, very important that you do this. You sit down and figure out what it is that you want to do right now. Whether you need to work with your divine feminine self or divine masculine self, or if you need to kind of get back on the path working with a personal deity, get back into your prayer practice, deciding whether or not you need to change careers for your own personal health, not only physical, but mental and emotional as well. Just sit down and really think about it. It can help to journal or to write it out, not only because you get it off of your chest, but because it's a lot easier to remember the steps once you have recorded them on paper. Alrighty, so for the middle of the week, we have Heal the Ouch. This is probably my favorite card in this entire deck because I think it is so cute. We have the raccoon healing the fox, and normally the fox would be the one hunting the raccoon. So with this, it's not only a call to heal the things that we either decided not to deal with and we just buried them, or things that we weren't aware that we had buried, or things that we were not really aware were happening around us. It's kind of that role reversal where you're not just taking care of someone else, you're allowing them to take care of you. And you're allowing yourself to take care of you. It's a time for healing and kind of a role reversal. If you are constantly the person that's taking care of others, this week you need to take care of yourself. Put yourself first in most situations. If you have a hard time saying no to friends like I do, and they are constantly asking you to go out and party, or I have a friend that is constantly asking me to go out on midnight excursions with her to go see her fiance who lives an hour and a half away. And more than once I have had to tell her no for the sake of my own health. And that's what this card is telling me this week. is things like that. I know how hard it can be to say no, but it's very important that you do. It's very important to put yourself first. And, you know, just if somebody wants to take care of you this week, to help you get your affairs in order, stuff like that, let them. Just heal, you know, allow yourself to heal. Heal the ouch, as as this card says. So for the weekend, we have solitude. This deck is probably one of my all-time favorites. I love that this card is... I love the image on this card, that it's not really a lighthouse, and yet it is, because it is standing on its own. And there's a light right here, and there's water down here reflecting it. It is the only building within a certain distance. It is by itself. And I love that it is reflected in the water, because that is very symbolic of self-reflection while in solitude, sitting in the silence, sitting in the stillness that comes from within. And of course, up here in the corner, we have the moon, and both water and the moon are very receptive symbols. And most feminine energies are receptive. I've come across a few that have been very projective. My matron goddess is actually a war goddess. She's a very projective feminine energy. But most feminine energies are receptive, which means that they are very intuitive by nature. It's not really something that they need to work on, because it comes very naturally to them. And they are very reflective, especially self-reflective. And so this week, that's what we're seeing. Step 1 is set the intentions for yourself. Step 2 is begin your healing process. You know, don't be afraid to say, no, I need to take some time for myself. You know, if it helps to journal, do that. It may help to keep a dream journal. Maybe you've been having some really strange dreams lately. I don't know. I know I have, but... And then towards this weekend, this is where we see that active power of saying no coming into play. Taking time for yourself to do some healing and some self-reflection, and just taking your power back, learning what your power is so that you can take it back. So, all right, I really hope that this helps, and thank you all so much for watching, and thank you to everyone who sent me such kind thoughts and words over the course of last week. Like I said, it was just a really rough week, and it means the world to me to know that there are people that follow my channel and follow my Facebook page that would take the time out to be so thoughtful and so caring, and it means the world to me. Thank you so much. So that is the reading for this week, and I hope that it helps. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next week.